Uh-oh. Ah, ah, ah. Uh-oh.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Home and podcast time.
That's right. Binford Tools is proud to present the Home Improvement Podcast. My name is Adam. You all know my co-host, Jordan. Hi, Jordan. How are you?
Oscar night. Oh, man. You must be riding a high right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty juiced. I'm meeting a friend at 7 o'clock. Goes by the name Oscar.
Oscar Martinez?
Yeah. What? I don't know his last name. I just he's small gold. Hard to get a hold of.
Oh man. Well, I know it is truly. You texted me. I was a little late to this. We don't usually record on Sundays, but I was a little late to this. Mm-hmm. And you said, "Hey, I missed the Super Bowl. I'm not missing the Oscars." And I ate really fast. You should have seen the way I shoveled that food into my mouth.
Went, oh my God, he did miss the Super Bowl. I did.
And why did you miss the Super Bowl, Adam?
I was at a wedding. It was fun. Kind of a mutual friend-ish.
Friend of the pod as well.
Friend of the pod, friend of each one of us. He got married in Austin. It was very nice, very fun.
Did not get an invite to this wedding, though, so...
Hey, man, I'm sorry about that. I know,
to be fair, I don't think I invited him to my wedding. So.
Well, and I know you definitely would have come if you'd have been invited.
For sure. Yeah.
Jordan, I have some things planned. There's so much to tell you. We didn't get the opportunity to talk beforehand. I think I'm just going to give you a call tomorrow just to kind of update you on some things because I got some big things going on.
Wait until the evening for me because it's going to be a busy day tomorrow.
Hey man, you'll take my call. I'll call when I'll call, and if you answer, great. If you don't, also great.
Just don't call me on that 4:30 commute that you have or whatever.
I don't go anywhere anymore. I got 2 words for you, Jordan. Well, oh no.
I should say
keep that in.
I'm just getting over the flu.
I forgot you had the flu. Well, we'll talk about that in our phone call tomorrow. But I got a little taste for you here, Jordan. 2 words.
All right.
Rock climbing.
Oh. Sounds a bit rocky.
Just a taste. All right.
I wet my whistle, that's for sure.
I got 2 things to say for this opening banter before we get into the episode. One, we were included in an article on forcesofgeek.com, January 17th.
As we should be.
2020, podcast celebrating television's past, written by Aaron Maxwell. About 9 podcasts on here. Are You Afraid of the Podcast? Days of Futurecast, Saved by the 90s, Talking Elf, TGIF, Raised by TV. There's some good ones, and there's some ones that were obviously better than. So I'm happy to be right in the middle.
Yeah, they did not reach out to us or anything, so this came as a surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we're happy to be included. And if they want an interview with us, please reach out.
Numbers have spiked. Downloads.
Interesting.
Triple.
What platform are you looking at?
Download.com, I think it is. No.
Yeah, that'll give you viruses for sure.
Well, hey, I want any more of those. But no, it's always nice to meet a fan. It's always nice to meet someone who is vaguely familiar with the podcast. So no, we were tickled to see. I was at work. Never happy to be at work, you know what I'm saying? So I saw this on my phone. I said, "Oh, that's nice."
Made your day. Made my day.
Made your dad. Is that what you're going to say?
No.
Yeah, Major Dad, the TV show. All right.
What a great joke that was.
Okay. Second thing I got to say.
All right, ready for it.
Okay, I think the same day that I got the article sent to me on Twitter, I was going into work, I was on the train, and I was listening to a song that I've heard 1,000 times before.
What's that?
It's, you'll know it. I doubt you'll like it. It's called The Bad Touch by the Bloodhound Gang. It's basically the You and Me Baby Ain't Nothing But Mammals song.
Oh, it's an awful, terrible, horrible song.
Okay, sure. Yeah, fine. Respectfully disagree. Think it's okay. But the point is, I was listening to it.
How often do you listen to that song?
A couple times a year. 3-4 times a year.
Okay. I didn't know if this was just a regular commute playlist.
I mean, it might be now.
It'd be funny if, once a week you just get down to this... What is it called? The Bloodhounds? Bloodhound Gang?
Well, it's called The Bad Touch, and it was performed by the Bloodhound Gang. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that seems about
So
right.
you probably wonder why I'm talking about this, right?
I'm curious, I would say.
So I'm listening to the words, kind of bopping my head along on the train, the Amtrak Hiawatha South.
Hey.
Yep. And I hear something. I say, "Oh, did I hear that right? Is that what I think I heard?" So I go and look online. Let me read the lyrics for you. I know we're pressed for time, but I'm going to read the whole stanza. Here we go.
We're not that pressed for time. Good gracious.
Okay, here we go. Love, the kind you clean up with the mop and bucket, like the lost catacombs of Egypt. Only God knows where we stuck it. Hieroglyphics, let me be Pacific. I want to be down in your South Seas. But I got this notion that the motion of your ocean means small craft advisory. So if I capsize on your thighs high tide, B5, you sunk my battleship. Please turn me on. I'm Mr. Coffee with an automatic drip. So show me yours. I'll show you mine. Tool time. You'll love it just like Lyle. And then we'll do it doggy style so we can both watch X-Files. Tool time.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I like that it's sandwiched right there in between, like, doggy style and...
Yeah.
Who's Lyle? That's the real question.
Lyle Lovett is a person, so I'm assuming you'll love it just like Lyle is. He's a performer married to Julia Roberts in the early 90s, like a folk singer.
Man, they packed in a lot of references into that little stanza that
I
you
know,
just read.
and in case you're wondering if it's Tool Time like the show as opposed to just like a different Tool Time, they have it in quotes and it's capitalized. So we're talking Home Improvement Tool Time.
Is there a different Tool Time?
I don't know, like you could use it, you could just say like Tool Time and have it not be a Home Improvement reference.
No, you couldn't.
Hey man, people have done it. I don't know them, but they've done it.
Not the Bloodhound Gang, that's for sure.
Not the Bloodhound Gang. So
wow,
yeah.
what another, you find it everywhere once you start looking type of thing.
Yeah, and I wasn't even looking, and I still found it. So figure that out. Wow.
You just have to have your ears tuned, and after 165 episodes of Home Podcast, our ears are finely tuned.
Our ears?
Ears and ears.
I'm wondering, this is going to be a real test of how lazy you've gotten. Are you going to keep all those coughs and hacking in, or is that going to get cut out?
Time will tell, my
All
friend.
right, interesting. Well, I'll be in for a surprise.
Wait, you think I'm getting lazier?
Yeah.
I feel like my editing skills have really jumped up a few
Oh,
notches.
I've got no real complaints. I haven't edited a podcast in 100 and, I don't know, what episode are we on? I've never done one, so I've got no major beef, but, you know.
That's how we're going to end this series. I'm going to just make you do it and see how it turns out.
Hey, probably a lot more jingles.
I doubt it.
Hey, man, you know my sweet jingles.
You have a proclivity for jingles. That is for certain.
I jingle and I jangle. That's what they always say.
Jingle jangle. You know, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
To hear that. I don't have any
It's fun.
related Tool Time news, unfortunately. I was mostly going to talk about how I recovered just so quickly from a flu. Just 2 days of a flu. Tamiflu.
Yeah.
Wonderful thing, although I did throw up the first time I took it, which I guess is a side effect. So, you know.
A side effect to getting rid of the flu is throwing up. That's a little ironic, huh?
I'd say so, but you know what? It did work for me. My wife is not feeling quite as good, and she got sick like a day or two before me.
Why is she cooking? Then why you got her cooking for 2 hours?
You tell me. She wanted to cook. I said,
what did
you don't
she
have to do that.
We'll keep this very short. What did she make that caused you to be so late for this recording?
To be fair, this is one of my very favorite meals that we make. And it is a
it's like probably something really gross. It's like gravy on carrots.
That sounds terrible. No, it is a rice and mushroom casserole with leeks and chicken thighs, and it's kind of like a cream sauce. It's very
It sounds
super good.
Sounds laborious.
It's super duper good though. Wow. It's a lot of like chopping and then multiple pans, and you can't do it all at the same time. So
labor of love.
Labor of love. It's delicious and makes a lot of leftovers. It's one of those meals that warms up almost as well as when you first make it, and that's clutch.
A lot of people say that it's better cold.
Why do a lot of people say that?
Hey, some people say it's better cold. It's like
who
pizza.
are these people?
I don't know.
I do like cold pizza. I'll say that.
The ESPN show, Cold Pizza, before it was called
no.
First Take.
Didn't like it in either iteration.
90s kids. That wasn't even the 90s. All right. You ready to talk about Home Improvement? Or
just barely.
Man, I haven't talked to you in forever.
I know.
It feels weird.
We could probably weave into about an hour and
I'm going to call you tomorrow. You said noon is the best time?
That's right when I have a meeting with my boss, so just 12:05
So,
it'll be
just
done.
call until you pick up, right? Normal stuff. Okay.
And make sure you get on, like, Zoom and just, like, keep barraging my Zoom, because that's where we have our meetings, okay?
All right. Hey, yeah. Sounds good to me, man. All right. What are we
Episode
covering?
166. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Hey, man. I freaking called it last week.
You really did.
I had no
wondered,
idea. I've never seen this one, so that was...
Sometimes you cheat and look ahead.
Did not.
And this one I figured you didn't, because you're not that good of an actor. I acted with you in our younger days. You're just not that good of an actor.
I'm not
you couldn't
good
pull
at
that
acting
off
at all. No.
Just a beautiful writer.
People want me to be, though. Disappointing for people, I think. Can't do it.
That stint in DTV, you said.
I know. Damnedest thing. All right, I got some terrible alternative titles.
Wait, I didn't even get to who wrote this.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Guess who wrote this?
Gracie.
No, but Lori Gelman.
Gelman!
All right, last did the dating game.
What was that?
That was Al and Tim going to that sweet club.
She's writing some stinkers this year.
All right, this one aired February 10th, 1998.
Wait, it's February 9th today. That's pretty weird.
Ooh. Whoa.
Yeah.
Letting people in behind the curtain.
That was definitely worth calling. I think it was. It's got like a 1 in 365 chance.
I like that you were going to make fun of yourself, and then you're like, well, you know what? That was good. I'm proud of myself. So,
Yeah.
you really come around on yourself.
It's amazing how fast that could happen for me.
All right. I will say the trivia on this one.
Yeah, saw it.
Not anything crazy. I mean, we're going to get a lot of trivia about, like, Simba and stuff, and I feel like we'll talk about that later. But this is the opposite plot of Maybe Baby, which happened 4 seasons earlier, I think it says. Yeah, 4 seasons earlier. Jill wants to have another child, but Tim doesn't. So
Usually
we get that
a sign
here.
your show has gone on too long if you're
Flip-flopping the plots.
reversing plots, yeah.
That's right. Title reference from the final exchange on the George Burns and Gracie Allen show from 1950. 2 stars there. Grace would make an illogical observation or comment. George would deliver the line, and then Gracie would finish with saying goodnight.
That was a big one for 90s kids, right? This is a reference they definitely
one. I was going
got.
to say, have you ever heard... I know you, you're a big television movie history buff, I would say. I just wondered if you had ever heard of this.
I've heard of George Burns, but no, nothing, not this specific, no.
Okay. All right, I actually only wrote 2 alternative titles because I didn't have time to think of another one.
That's all right.
So, yeah. But I think they're okay. So, you said you have terrible ones?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I have 5 bad ones, so.
All right, well, do a couple.
Okay.
Let's get a couple of them out of the way.
All right. Hubby needs a hobby.
Mm-hmm. That is bad.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's like cream of the crop this week, so.
Oh, okay. Go again, then.
Say, Uncle.
Okay, I like that one.
Thank you.
That's good. Yeah, that was better than your first one. How can you say that's cream of the crop?
I don't know.
All right, my first one. I hope you like it. Girl.
If I don't worry about it. It's fine.
No, I'm doing this for you, man. Girl power.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. This is terrible. This is embarrassingly bad. I feel like I almost don't want to read it, but of course I will.
Yeah.
It's a singing one. Goodness Gracie, great stuff, gorilla. It's not. I mean, like there's a stuff gorilla. I had goodness Gracie. I had to fill it out somehow.
If only like the people who interviewed you and asked about this position as a podcast co-host got snippets of episodes like that.
Yeah.
You would never get a job again.
Yeah. Well, I'm heading that way anyway. So.
All right. Here's my other one. Does everybody know what time it is? Tea time.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's a good one. All right. My last 2. This sucks. Thanks for Gracie us with your presence. And last but not least, Horny at Houghton Lake.
Oh man, if that man.
Yeah.
Houghton Lake.
Houghton Lake.
And no,
Romantic.
oh, that made me laugh so
News
hard.
to me.
Oh man, as two people who have spent their time at Houghton Lake, it's not the word I would ever use to describe it. If you could think of like 100 words to describe it, it wouldn't make the list, right?
Hey, Jordan, between you and me, my first kiss was at Houghton Lake. And that's all I want to say about that. You notice how I got a little quieter?
Who was it?
I can't get into that. All right, let's start the episode. All right, I'll start. Jill's on the computer because, she's in college.
Is she? Hasn't she graduated yet?
Taking a long time. She's logging a lot of computer time. This show uses her being at the computer as shorthand for she's a student. Marty comes in. Haven't seen him in a while. Must have gotten back from Africa. Huh? William O'Leary was in Africa. You know that? All right. Tim is also there. He got a steering column he's going to put in for his newest car.
Boy, is he excited.
Yeah, he's excited. He's the only one. Marty and Nancy, it's their anniversary. They're going to Houghton Lake, and this is where we get Houghton Lake as a romantic destination. It's very funny. We've talked about Houghton Lake a lot on the podcast, but my parents have had a place up there forever, and they now live up there full time. Your wife's parents had a place up there for a long time, so we've logged a lot of time up there, Jordan.
We've watched a lot of Twilight Zone episodes up there together, some Land of the Lost.
It's nice. A romantic getaway. I guess anywhere can be a romantic getaway, but I don't know. Something about
I just don't think it can.
I've heard St. Cloud is great for couples.
No one is claiming it is. So
no, I'm sorry. I just thought that was really funny. It was just obvious that the person writing it
has no clue.
Yeah, they looked at a map and they're like, there's all right.
I do like that right after this Tim is mocking that sentiment, the romance sentiment, saying how cold it's going to be because it is February, right? That's what we're led to believe here.
Oh
so
man, I didn't think about that.
That makes it even worse, right?
What are they going? Are they going to Tip Up Town?
They must be.
That'd be sweet. That's not romantic either, but it's fun.
If you want to go and have some sort of romance, you got to go during the summer.
Do you think Marty did the polar bear dip at Tip Up Town?
He probably is the one who started it.
Fair.
You think this was the
inaugural
impetus?
Polar bear dip?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I don't know. All right, they're gonna babysit the twins. No, not twins.
Just Gracie. Grandma's got the other one.
They're splitting it up. Grandma's got the other one. Grandma can handle both, by the way.
Well, Marty says, I don't think so.
This is a short... Marty's not in this one very much. They agree to do it. They're excited. Marty's about to leave, and Mark comes down, and he's got black lipstick on.
Oh, full get up here.
But
full
all black stuff. Tim and Jill are so, desensitized to it that they don't even really react. So
Marty, however, is... Whew, Mark's going to the mall, so just putting on his best, and that's the opening scene.
That's it. Yeah, that's all there is.
Yeah, at home, Jill has some stuff for playtime with Gracie. They're both pretty excited. Tim's excited, but Tim's excited mostly because he's going to have playtime with Brad. That auto part that they mentioned earlier.
Sounds kind of gross.
It does sound kind of gross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But he does say that.
Yeah,
and he wants to work on the car with his son, and Brad says, no, I'm also going to the mall, gonna meet with Samantha. Everyone loves the mall. It's one thing, goth and jock, everyone can come together at the mall. So
did you log much time at the mall? Not really, probably, right?
No, I wasn't a big fan, really.
Did people our age, obviously people were going, but I don't think it had quite the same, appeal.
I guess our mall wasn't that nice anyway.
Nor was it close.
Yeah, I guess you could go to Cortland.
Yeah,
maybe.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So I think, though, for Andrea, I would say she probably went more.
Bit of a mall rat?
Just more. I think it was a bigger thing for girls, probably. Get some shopping
wading into those waters, huh?
No, I'm just saying the first time I really met that whole group of people, they wanted to go to the mall.
Did you go?
So, yeah, that's where I met.
Of course you did, you hound dog. I bet you were all too happy to show off your little tricks.
I went in every candle shop they wanted to go in.
Did you go into Victoria's Secret and you were like acted like you didn't like it? You're like, I shouldn't be in here.
I just turned around and I was like, I can't do this. No. I do not remember much about that.
Your first date, you kind of blocked it out.
Sam was there.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe Ron was there?
You know, these names are not doing much for people. So
For you, but it's doing a lot for you.
Yeah, no, it's making me mad. I wasn't. All right, keep going, Jordan. You're doing good.
Oh, boy, am I. Marty and Gracie come in, so, Gracie's just a cute little girl. Cute as a button. Marty's loaded with stuff, and this is pretty true to life. I think they're going to be there for the weekend, but he's got, 3 suitcases and toys galore and all this kind of stuff, and I was just thinking about when we met with you and Kirsten at the beach that one time.
Right.
And it was just like an overnight trip, right?
Yeah.
But we had to bring our whole car full of stuff.
Crazy.
With Olivia. So that's very true to life. Like I said, Gracie's adorable. Marty's got lots of rules, as you do with kids, routines and all this kind of stuff that, hopefully helps them. No candy, no tool time, because tool time gives her nightmares.
Ooh, how old do you think she is? Is she 3, maybe?
I think she says 4
Okay.
in this episode, something like that. Jill has lots of plans to keep Gracie entertained. Tea parties, dress up, all those things.
Yeah.
And Marty bounces, but the phone rings, and it's Dr. Ashley. We've never heard
MD.
Dr. Ashley before.
Dr. Ashley sounds like a cool college professor.
It's one of the Ashleys from Recess.
Oh, man.
Dr. Ashley. A therapist did not show up, and Jill needs to cover. Tim gets a little bit nervous. He's going to be left with a girl, and Jill has lots of confidence in him, says, you raised 3 boys. And he said, yeah, but this is a girl. So I kind of like this as a plot setup.
Yeah.
But that's about where it ends.
You like the
But that's
setup, but do we like the execution? Time
Do
will
they
tell.
deliver it?
Time will tell.
Do they deliver it?
Later. A lot of laters.
So many laters.
See you later. Tim's playing with Gracie. Randy enters. Oh, golly, this thing. All right.
I'm glad you took this scene.
Okay, so Tim's playing with her under a fort. They got the stuffed animals.
Looks fun.
Yeah, it looks great. But, so, I don't...
You can tell one of us has a kid and the other one doesn't.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it seemed fun. Yeah, sure. You tell me, mister. So Randy pops under this sort of fort, and we get a Simba joke. I don't even really remember what the joke was.
They're playing with the lion.
Yeah. There's 2 jokes. The first joke was okay. The second joke was what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, the first joke was something something about I've never been a lion, and then Randy comes in and says I have.
And then he says, problem being a lion is they just can't wait for you to be king. And I was like, okay, you had me. I was kind of smiling at the first thing. I was like, oh, that's clever. You give me this king nonsense, and I'm walking out the door.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
They love doing this. This is the 4th time they've done this.
Yeah, it's a lot of Simba, and we get a Buzz Lightyear one later.
When's the friggin' I'll be home for Christmas reference? I don't know.
If only.
All right. Yeah. That's all. Later. No, there's more. Okay.
Tim tries to get himself a break. He's been a trooper, but he wants to go work on the hot rod.
Yeah.
So he tries to get Randy to come, give him a break, but he says no. He's got homework to do. I don't know. I feel like he could have made the boys help a little bit here, but it doesn't work out.
They're adults. They got their own lives, Jordan.
Yeah. Tim gets Gracie to come take a look at the hot rod with her orangutan.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Now, later.
Later.
In the garage.
They're in the garage. Tim's trying to get her to be interested in the car. She wants to have a tea party. End of scene.
Mr. Gorilla wants to have a tea party. She's kind of excited about the whole thing when she's first in there, but then Tim's like, hey, do you want to hand me tools? And she puts the gorilla to her ear, and the gorilla apparently says wants to have a tea party. So.
All right. Gracie is played by 2 young children, Kristen Hopper and Caitlin Hopper. There are 2 credits to their name. Okay, this is confusing. So in 1998, they were in this episode. And then in 1993, they were both in the movie Addams Family Values playing Pubert Adams. So that was 5 years ago. So that must have meant they were just like babies in Addams Family Values, because I don't even think these kids could be 5.
Yeah, I don't know. That's some research that we're not gonna do.
I know, but
But it is strange.
it was confusing to me. So, they're great. I love them. Some of the best guest stars I've seen. Okay, next scene, tea party. They're having
party
fun.
time.
Tim's playing the queen. I think he likes to do this like female
Impersonation.
aristocratic voice, because he seems to really be having fun with it. Yeah.
Well, in Toy Story, he kind of gets to do it with Buzz too. So
I don't know what version of Toy Story you're watching, but let me get my hands on it.
It's the first one.
All right.
I can tell you exactly when it happens.
Don't worry about it. Randy comes down. Crazy. Randy says, "I've seen everything now."
He's so stupid.
This episode sucks.
It's such a dumb scene. All right. Later, Tim is reading a book to Gracie.
Yeah.
It's a Pooh Bear book. This is the third thing that I thought about doing, but I couldn't make it work. It was like a Disney crossover episode, basically. Like, you got the Pooh book, you got Simba, you get Buzz Lightyear later, you got
What were you
just
thinking
Home
about
Improvement.
doing with? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
As an alternative title, something related to that,
Right.
but I couldn't figure it out. So it's a Pooh Bear book. Gracie falls asleep on Tim, and he puts a blanket on her.
Cute.
And then it's very, very precious. And then Tim wants to continue with the book. So
That was funny.
He's a child at heart.
Yeah, that was good.
As am I, and you are. You're kind of like an angsty teen at heart.
You mean you're the size of a child because you're so small?
Both.
Yeah, I thought that the gag with him continuing to read the book was
I like
funny.
that.
Yeah. Jill,
Out of all the little small scenes that they have, I found this one to be the best. I guess.
yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Jill comes home and sees Tim sleeping, and she likes what she sees. I'll keep.
Well, she sees Gracie sleeping on Tim.
I think she likes both.
I agree.
Cute.
But
She said it's
one way it
cute.
sounds
You're right.
different.
Yeah, she sees Tim sleeping. She says, "Now's my chance." Tim had a great afternoon. He wakes up. He had a great afternoon. He says that it was one of the best afternoons of his life. Wow. Tim. Lord. Based on what I saw, that's not great, but yeah. How did you have fun with your kids growing up?
He did not.
He very quickly leaps to, hey, I want to have a daughter.
So quickly.
Yeah, it was fast because we're 10 minutes to the episode, so we gotta finish up.
Tim forgot about the vasectomy, and I did as well.
Oh, you did?
A little bit, yeah. It's been a while.
That was that was a good one. He shows he's walking out bare butt. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm. He wants to reverse it now.
Yeah, it can happen. People can do that.
Could have got another scene of him bare butt.
It wouldn't have been bad.
Tim also has another idea of maybe not even having to reverse the vasectomy.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to frame Bob the Hider. But,
I don't know either, and this went on a little longer than It's a weird joke. It's like it's just weird.
It's a classic Gelman joke, you know?
Well, yeah. I think if you watch every one of her episodes, there is sort of one of these. Let's call it a seed joke, you know. Well, she wrote "There's Something About Mary," right? The scene where.
Oh, okay. Jill says, "Let's think it through."
Yeah.
Adam, let's think it through.
Yes.
How could we guarantee that we get a girl? Could we adopt? Jill is just not interested. You know, we already crossed this bridge. We're done with this. I have a career now. My whole life is kind of shaped. She's being a reasonable human being.
Yeah.
And Tim is caught up. They end the scene with a very interesting graphic.
I didn't notice the graphic, but I noticed the very dramatic commercial break.
Oh, yes, they did do that as well.
I guess that was a little earlier. What was the graphic?
Oh, man. They had a little Bob graphic.
They did that.
They absolutely did. It was stunning. It kind of looked like, in one of those, mucus drug commercials.
Yeah, I can picture exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, just changed the color, and that's what they had floating across the screen.
I don't think I like that.
I did not like it myself. It was very strange. In an episode where
the main it's a 4-year-old girl is like the star.
Yes, and like all of the cuteness that was happening between Tim and Gracie, to do that is a very strange juxtaposition. So
that sperm graphic reminds me of the beginning of Seed of Chucky, which is a film I'm guessing you've seen a dozen times.
I've never been a big Chucky. I think I've seen the first Chucky. And that was enough for me.
Even that surprises me.
Well, there you go.
You and Chuck, you're just cut from two different cloths. But they do a similar thing. Doesn't matter. Which did I like better, this episode or the Seed of Chucky? Probably this episode. All right, Tool time. Hobby Week?
Question mark?
Yeah, I have some questions about this. So I guess Hobby Week, this week, they're doing like tiny doll houses. That was my understanding. I guess the dollhouse in and of itself is tiny, so that's redundant. They're just doing dollhouses. Right? It's like a huge mansion. Like, okay, we get it. It's a mansion. They put on magnifying glasses, which is supposed to be kind of a gag, so they can see the tiny tools that they're using to make the tiny furniture.
Boy, do they look weird.
Not as weird as they seem to think. I don't know. Tim glues a small table to his hand while Al and Heidi are working on something else. Al turns around, you know where this is going. Eventually the table gets glued to Al, or like the table is glued to Al's head, and then the scene ends.
Oh man, so stupid.
It's really dumb. Like there's like chairs glued to Tim's back.
Yeah, how did that happen? And
woof
indeed.
Didn't like
the table to Al's head, really reminiscent of the episode, I think in the first season, where Tim gets a table stuck to his head.
But we're just recycling. You can make. They're just like, oh, let's do the same gags as season one. Just make the stuff smaller. Yeah.
Smaller table.
People won't notice.
Smaller table, different guy.
Oh man, it was one of the lesser Tool Time scenes that we've taken in a while.
Yeah. Well,
I think that the Bloodhound gang, they watch this scene, they're like, we got to have this in our song.
Yeah, if only. Back at home, the gang's all there except for Tim, and they're kind of ragging on him, basically. They're saying Dad has lost it. When I say the gang, usually we talk about, like, Tim's friends are the gang. It's the family here. Family.
Yeah, it would make more sense if it was the gang. This is his kids.
His kids are just like,
Dad, you suck.
Yeah. Second girly show in a row, Dad. Tim comes in and he has to hear it from them. But he has lots more ideas and he's not embarrassed. And Jill dismisses the boys before, I don't know, Tim beats them up with a tiny dollhouse or something.
He should be. Yeah.
And Jill tries to tell him to get a grip. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, Tim has called an adoption agency. Kind of the opposite of getting a grip here.
This is what you call not on the same page.
No. Tim is not taking Jill seriously at all. So.
No. She said from the beginning she didn't want one. He's like, yeah, well, let's just talk about it a little bit more. I think I can convince you.
Let's just talk about it till I bring it home, and then you have no choice.
Yikes.
This reminds me of a few episodes, maybe it was last episode, where Tim talks about, I think it's the one with Al, how when he finds something new, he goes overboard.
Yeah, well, this is more representative of that than the lease, right?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
This is like the Tim midlife crisis season. Starts in Traverse City, and he's like, I don't know what to do with my... This is just continuing on, and to mixed results. So Tim, he's confused, so he does what he does when he's confused, and he heads out to the fence, Jordan. Subversion? Half a subversion? What do you want to call this?
Yeah, I guess I would call it... I'd call it a version.
All right, well, let's go ahead and play a clip.
Everything all right over there, Wilson?
Oh, hey, Tim, how's it going, bro?
Hi, Willow. What's with the fire?
Uncle Wilson built this for some sacred Hindu ritual, but I'm using it to dry my nail polish. This color is called Back to the Fuchsia.
Oh, you little girls paint your nails. You're so cute.
I'm 26 and I got a fungus under my thumbnail like you wouldn't believe.
Well, you were probably cute when you were little.
Yeah, but then there was that awkward period between 3 and 25. Speaking of periods, I'm starting to bloat like you would not believe.
Willow, Vince is on the phone. He wants to know if he can stop by after he visits his parole officer.
Cool.
Parole officer?
Well, this boyfriend's better than the last one. At least he's out.
This is great, Toad. You get to spend time with your niece. I get to spend time with mine. She's making me want to have a daughter.
Well, Tim, I thought in your case that was no longer an option.
Well, you can reverse a vasectomy.
Well, what about Jill?
She's not reversible.
Tim, are you really serious about having another child at this point in your life?
I don't know what's come over me. I really don't. Everything started changing the moment I started spending time with Gracie. You know, instead of wanting to play with G.I. Joes and cap guns, I feel like making cute things, you know? We had a tea party.
Oh, a tea party, you say? How delightful.
Quite. Yes, it was. I used to think boys were the ticket.
Right.
But boy, Gracie's so different. She's got such an imagination, you know? Yeah. She brought out the queen in me.
No, that's a whole other direction, right there. Whoa.
I don't know why this is. You know, I spend a lot of time with my nieces. You know, maybe it's because they're older now.
Well, maybe it's because you're getting older. You know, in the words of Oliver Wendell Holmes, men are like peaches and pears. They grow sweet a little while before they begin to decay.
So you're saying I'll get soggy before I rot?
No. What I am saying is you're able to appreciate a side of life you never could before.
But what about this idea about me having a daughter?
Well, Tim, if you like to build cute things and you like to have tea parties, you can always have them with your nieces.
Maybe you're right. And that way I can avoid that unpleasant diaper changing phase. 0 to 8.
So Tim walks outside, heads to the fence. Not
Willow.
Wilson, but Willow.
Man, she's at the bonfire, and you know what? She's just doing girly things.
How's it going, bro? That's what she says. Whoa, cool.
We were wondering, like, how would Willow appear this many times? Well,
Yeah.
when you do things like this, I guess
This
that's
is
how.
it. Yeah, they're just like talking, you know, shooting the shit as they say, and yeah, Tim starts to try to talk to her, but then she starts talking about, you know, female stuff, and when she starts talking about her period, Tim says, "Whoa, too far."
So stupid.
Yeah, it's really something. Wilson comes out, and Willow goes in. We find out Willow is like there's a guy coming over, and he's like a parolee or something. That's the joke.
Yeah, he's like an ex-con, basically. And
Yeah.
Wilson says something like, at least this one's out of jail, so
Yeah.
she can pick him.
She likes the bad boys.
Not the Pistons, though.
Not the Pistons. And that's why Randy and Brad never had a chance with her.
That's
She likes
true.
the bad boys.
Brad did have his moments of being a bad boy, but he's really grown, you know, out of it.
Mark's the bad boy now.
Mark and Willow.
I wish. Too bad she's too old, but yeah. Tim explains the situation to Wilson. Wilson's advice is like, what? I don't know. I think I'm just not listening. I didn't listen very well this episode.
He says men, as they grow older, they're kind of like fruit. They grow sweet right before they decay.
Yeah.
So I guess they grow more sentimental, softer. I don't know.
So, that's kind of nice. I wish I would have listened to that.
Yeah, it's not terrible. And his actual advice is, hey, maybe just try to spend more time with your nieces.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to have a kid. You could just hang out with this kid.
You know how you're enjoying hanging out with this kid? Do it more.
Good advice. Solid. All right,
Yeah.
back inside. What did I write? Did Grain leave?
Gracie, probably.
Oh, yeah. That was a question I had. Like, when did she leave? Like, how much time has passed? Is she still there?
That's the old Tool Time Home Improvement.
That's true. How many times have I asked how much time has passed since we started doing this show? I just didn't. Well, I guess I've wondered if she was even still there. Like, has
Part
Marty
of the
picked her up?
problem with our time in this show is that we've been recording the podcast for like 5 years now. So
True.
I think
Yeah.
it just kind of messes everything up in general. So, but yeah, I
Best
guess
5 years of my life.
I mean, once we get to the last season here, it's gonna be like senior year of high school.
Senioritis,
you know?
yeah, let's do it. Could be recording 20-minute episodes with sunglasses on and a Hawaiian shirt unbuttoned. Where do I sign?
Oh man! All right, so yeah, I guess she's gone. You know,
Sure, whatever.
either
who
that
cares?
or no one's watching Gracie. She's
Which
just
would be funny. Like,
she's
Tim's like,
just
I need a
wreaking
daughter.
havoc.
She's like in the garage, like huffing paints.
she blames it on the gorilla. The gorilla made me do it. All right. Tim comes in, talks to Jill. I'm going to spend more time with the nieces. And then, maybe our boys someday will have girls. And
I wouldn't look for it with all of them.
and then, as Home Improvement is wont to do.
Oh my gosh, it happened again.
What's Bob the sperm doing tonight?
Like, this is one of the funniest things, I think. Like, we've made discoveries, like the I don't go for that thing kind of guy is funny, and there's some other stuff that I didn't remember, but like I didn't remember how many episodes end with them about to bone.
Yeah, I would say if we ever did write an article that was like 10 things you don't remember about Home Improvement.
Every episode ends with Jill straddling Tim.
Pretty much, yeah. So they're gonna go do it.
Well, they're gonna do it doggy style so they can both watch X-Files.
That's what I hear.
Roll credits fade to black.
Wait a minute.
There's more?
They're back in the garage.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Marty and the girls.
Marty and the girls. Marty and the girls.
Do. They're working on the car, and the girls are kind of sitting there on the washer dryer, or both.
Yes.
And they're grunting with excitement, so it's precious. And then there is kind of an I don't know if it's an outtake or just like an extra thing they didn't include, bonus scene.
See this. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they do the same thing that they did with Simba earlier, but Tim brings out a Buzz Lightyear doll.
How clever.
Yeah, so...
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Really like that.
The crowd goes wild.
Tim brings out a bonnet from Furniture Horror.
The best part is, like, I don't know, like, Gracie, while this is happening, she doesn't get it, She doesn't think it's that funny.
Yeah, she's like, why are they getting such big laughs?
She's like, line? What am I supposed to do?
She's heading over to craft services table. And like,
oh, man.
All right, roll credits fade to black. Horny and Houghton. Jordan. Let's head on down to Castle's Corner. There's a lot of snow on the ground here in Milwaukee, so
you know what? Why don't we take a stroll? Let's not drive. Let's take a stroll.
Too cold here, but I'm open to it. Sure.
All right. So Castle's Corner. I can go first. This is not a good episode. Like I said, I even though it's kind of a recycled plotline, I like the idea of like Tim being stuck with a girl by himself.
Recycled plotlines are not necessarily a bad thing. We've seen them recycled and liked them more the second time.
Yes, and this would have been a different way if they would have taken it that way, but they do take it the way where like Tim's just, I want a girl.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been better to see like Tim kind of, I don't know, struggle or squeam more being with a girl and doing playtime with a girl or something like that, or basically any other way they could have taken this episode, but Tim jumps to a conclusion very quickly and is way overboard and is crazy and unrealistic, and Jill, as the normal sounding board, shuts him down pretty quickly. Willow is strange, and I guess that's to her character, but like I don't think her presence here does much for the episode. So I guess I like Wilson's advice. That's good, but it's also so obvious, like just spend time with your nieces. So the conflict is not really a conflict. Just wish it was executed better. So what do you think?
Yeah, not a lot to like here. Positives, like I like that Tim kept reading that book after she went to sleep. That was kind of funny gag. And Wilson's advice, once I heard it come from you, I did enjoy it more. No, I mean, like, yeah, this is just kind of stupid. Like, he hangs out with the girl, and all of a sudden he wants a daughter, and just, like, there is no conflict because he wants one really, really badly and is, like, obsessed about it, and Jill says no. So, like, she doesn't even consider it. So, like, what are the stakes? There really aren't any. Tool time is really bad. That's
so stupid.
Awful. The kids are just, like, coming down and, like, delivering these kind of lame one-liners. Like, I don't know. Who's that for? Yeah, it's just pretty stupid. If you're gonna recycle a plot, do something with it. This was just like, this was like, I don't know. It felt kind of rushed and like they didn't really know what they wanted to do. So yeah, not for me. This one.
Yeah, I mean the best scenes in this episode are where Tim is interacting with Gracie.
Yeah, and he's good with kids. He's always good with kids.
He's always good with kids. It's very adorable. As a father to a daughter who has tea parties sometimes, I found it very true to life and kind of fun to see on the screen. But Yeah, those were the best parts of the episode, not so much what he has to do with Jill and whatever. And we talked about, like, the Bob sperm joke being so weirdly out of place, but that's really low for me.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
They doubled down on it and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, very weird.
All right, well, hopefully better luck next week, yeah?
We'll see. But with that, we'll move on to the social media aspect of the show. Reach out to us, thehomeandpodcast.com, Facebook and Twitter at Home and Podcast. Go to patreon.com/Home and Podcast, where we will soon do a bonus episode for people who will donate $1 or more a month of Kid Nation. Oh, man. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
It's going to be real fun.
I think we should put half of it on the main feed just to entice people.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to entice people.
Hey, what if there might be an unspoken majority out there that does not feel represented with their Kid Nation love? We don't know.
We do not know. But you know what might entice people? We have updated our website, and you have taken another pass at your reboot script, revival script, whatever you want to call it, that you wrote.
I want to call it a revival, but I have to call it a reboot.
Yeah, pretty much I made that executive decision.
Yes.
And it's right on the main page, so go to thehomeandpodcast.com. You'll see right at the top, there is reboot script. You can read the whole, I think it's like 22 pages maybe.
Reads fast.
Yeah, it's a fast read, but it's entertaining. See how the series could have worked out if it came back, you know?
Yeah.
It's entertaining and definitely worth a read. So we'll paste a link on Twitter at some point, of course.
Been done. Did it.
Done. Donezo. Adam?
Yes. All right,
What?
kind of a lot of Twitter to go through. So,
All right, start
Poll.
going.
Are you familiar with the saying, a close shave?
Oh, that one's still alive, eh?
18 votes. 16% no, 83% yes.
Egg on your face.
Yeah, I don't know. You put 20 people in a room, 16% of them don't know what it is. I got some friends at least, you know?
Yeah, you guys are weird.
That's right. Which of the Taylor children have the most interesting episodes built around them? We said a while back that Brad episodes were the most interesting. Well, people did not agree with us.
Well, people are wrong.
29 total votes. 3.4% said Mark. 13.8% said Brad. 82.8% said Randy. That's just because people like Jonathan Taylor Thomas. The episode's built around him. The only good one that's built around him is the cancer one. I'm telling you.
I mean, there's some good ones with him and, you know, his girlfriends and stuff.
Hyperbolic. But
yes, Brad is much more entertaining.
All right.
So, yeah.
How old were you when you got engaged? This is in response to the Brad episode where he got engaged a few weeks back. 25 total votes. 18 to 22, no, 12% were engaged between 18 to 22, 20% were engaged between 22 and 26, 20% were also engaged from 26 onward, 48% never engaged or married. Bachelor poll.
Interesting.
What else here? Tim said this is the last place you would think for someone to have said something nice about Kobe Bryant, but Tim had kind of a nice tweet about Kobe Bryant and losing his dad in a terrible accident. I was kind of surprised by that. Seek it out on your own if you're interested in that. I mentioned the article. John Andretti passed away. He's Mario's nephew and Michael's cousin. Benjamin Pope tweeted that at us. Zachary Ty Bryan tweeted an outtake from Home Improvement. It's kind of a funny one of him and Tim in the backyard. He's like dribbling a soccer ball and he slips on it. It's pretty good.
I'm glad he didn't get hurt.
22 total votes on this poll. Would you say that Tim and Al are best friends? Because in the last episode, that's really throwing the BF around. 22.7% no, 77.3% said yes. And then James Edgar said, although Tim wouldn't like to admit it, I think so.
I don't know. Sounds like somebody's just eating up the narrative that they're feeding you.
And Linda Stahl said, in a Tim Allen acceptance speech at the PCA, he said that Pat played his wife and his best friend. So I guess Jill would be Tim's best friend.
Whoa, that rings more true.
Yeah, that's more research you're ever going to get on this show. And that's pretty much it. Oh, the Home Improvement podcast that I've been talking about lately.
Oh,
they reached out.
Yeah.
And they said, thanks for the shout out in your Bright Christmas episode. Although it stings that you didn't mention us by name. And it said #kiss the ring. So they're showing some respect.
Well, I have wanted to know their name forever. So what's their name?
Tool Boys.
Tool Boys.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tool Boys.
Yeah, Tool Boys. A little bit of unsolicited advice. I listened to some of your episode. You got to shorten that intro theme song. Too long, Tool Boys.
We struggled with that.
It's like 2 minutes. It's not. I don't dislike it. It's just too long. You gotta shorten it, Tool Boys. Hey.
It's true. You know what you do with that, Tool Boys?
Yeah. Put it at the end.
Put it at the end. People will enjoy it still.
Yeah. All right. That's it. So Twitter.
Wow, you got through that quick. That was a lot. Mm-hmm. You can tell that the Oscars are getting close.
Yeah, they are. And Daddy's getting ready. Also, I haven't had dinner, so there's a couple of contributing factors.
Well, fair enough. Well, I don't think we have any mailbag or questions, which is fine. I have comments from my mother, as always.
Hey,
But
we got time. Share 'em.
all right. Well, let me go ahead and pull up Facebook real quick and see if I can find him again. All right. LL Dauber on Facebook.
Lil Dauber, nice.
Got some information. This goes back to our older woman episode. Where Brad.
What'd she think of that one?
Well, she said Maggie Lawson, who plays Samantha, and Jason Biggs premiered a new sitcom last week.
That's funny. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Well, she gives a little synopsis. Typical parents of 4 kids, 2 are geniuses. A third has been tested and found to be a genius. They're disappointed that the kids are smarter than themselves, and she saw this while channel surfing. She also wanted to give an update on Chuck E. Cheese. You asked me about Chuck E. Cheese. You disparaged me about Chuck E. Cheese, if I recall. She said, we quit going to Chuck E. Cheese when we decided the food wasn't worth it. Although the games were fun, we're always a family of value. And we spent...
This is telling.
Yeah, we spent a lot of parties at Fuddruckers after that. I love Fuddruckers.
I've never been to Fuddruckers.
Well, the Fuddruckers now is kind of into a chain, so it's not the same. But back in the day, it was good. It was a good time.
I like that your family was going to Chuck E. Cheese for the food, huh? Just wasn't quite up to snuff.
Well, it had to balance out with the games.
That's true. That's true. That's fair.
She wants overall good value. This coming from a family that had Disney Vacation Club memberships, so maybe the standards are a bit too high. I don't know.
Some hypocrisy going on, maybe.
Maybe a bit too high. I'm not sure.
Read what your mom said about the show Jason Biggs. It's funny because there was a promo that I retweeted. It was like Tim Allen and Jason Biggs like FaceTiming each other because the Jason Biggs show is like a lead-in to Last Man Standing or vice versa, and it was like a really stupid bit that they did, but it's funny she's on that show on the same network as Tim Allen.
Cross.
I appreciate that, Lil Dauber.
Yeah, there you go.
Lil Dauber. Good. All right, well, Jordan, we got to go. It's been a pleasure talking to you, though. What are we covering next week?
Next week, we're covering What a Drag.
If they're not drag racing, I'll cut off my pinky finger. Jordan, thank you for joining me.
I think it might be harder to guess, or easier to guess than last week, so I'm not as impressed.
Yes, I'll say.
All right, so go ahead and end it. Sorry.
No, let's circle.
Do you want to watch the
that.
Oscars?
Jordan, thank you for joining me, listeners. Thank you for listening. Guess I should say take care.
Take care, everybody.